let's say at 67, chances are you're around for at best 20 more years. I mean, hopefully longer, but she doesn't need to make money anymore. So Ramona's living her best life. But do I think Ramona slept with Jax? Probably. Do I think Jax just says anything, whether it's true or not, because he knows how clickbait works and headlines, and he doesn't care because he's back on the Valley and he's getting a paycheck for his son? Yes, 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 yes. And do I believe Brittany that she didn't sleep with him? I do. RHOC is back in our lives, guys. And I did the recap. We're going to be doing the recaps on Patreon. We did it yesterday. I will not go into everything we said on Patreon because you can go listen to Patreon. And a lot of you joined yesterday. So that's another thing I didn't realize, that we've done the RHONJ on Patreon, which will continue until it goes over. But man, so many of you are just hungry for lighthearted, fun content because more people joined our Patreon yesterday with RHOC than like the whole past 2 months with New Jersey. A lot of people joined for New Jersey, but I mean, a lot of you are just, I think, excited that Patreon will now be about a lot of other things and some inside information, but a lot of things other than New Jersey. And yeah, we're going to be recapping the OC only on there. And we have a lot to talk about. And comment if you're on Patreon, because I answer the comments there all the time, more than anywhere else. But I thought it was a great episode. The full breakdown of my thoughts are on Patreon, but 633,000 of you watched. So this is an alarming fact for me because this trailer was so packed, and we have 200,000 watching Dubai. But even with like the return of the OC, and there's nothing on now. Now, Jersey is back tonight, but we didn't have it. We have Dubai, which only two. So it was so anticipated that this epic Housewives was back and it was good. And only 633,000 of you watched, which is good compared to RHONJ and Salt Lake. It's on par with New Jersey, where we're going to do a reboot just because we don't know what to do anymore. But it's not great. So I really do feel people watching Housewives is on a decline, has declined. I still think it's the beginning of the end. This episode reinvigorated my interest in the franchise, but, that's not a great number. So I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens from that. But go to Patreon, and will more people start to watch? I don't know, but I don't think that's so great as far as the number. I mean, last year we still had over 1 million watching. So that just tells me you guys are checked out on Housewives. I had Chef Stu on here. I talk to Chef Stu all the time. He'll be back. Maybe we'll start doing a regular bi-monthly with him, mix him in with Melissa Rivers. He thinks it's because of the summer, and that's the thing with the Jersey. I don't know. I mean, my numbers haven't gone down over here. You're all still listening to me. So I don't necessarily agree that it's just because it's the summer. Yes, we're all kind of checked out because it's the summer, but you could say the same about Christmas. I think this audience, 5 years into this, more is more. I mean, how many shows do I do a week? And you guys don't miss a beat. If I would do 15,000 shows a week, I think you would still listen. So I don't buy that it's the summer. I respectfully disagree with Chef Stu. Nothing I wouldn't say to his face. And I just think Housewives is on a little bit of a decline. No one's as excited or interested anymore, which is okay. It's been 20 years, 2 decades. Andy has come out and said he sees 4 different ways in which RHONJ could move forward. He didn't get into what those were, but the 4 ways, as far as I'm concerned, is we keep Melissa and fire Teresa. We keep Teresa and fire Melissa. We fire everyone and have a reboot. We fire everyone and the show goes off the air. I don't see, those are the 4 things he's talking about, even though, excuse me, I am so sorry. Allergies, Hamptons, even though he didn't say what they were, I still don't see a world in which Melissa stays and Teresa doesn't. I agree that Teresa, Louis is a fucking criminal. You see all these charges with Vinavia coming every fucking day. They're scamming people out of money. Now they're trying to get people's, there was an account that was coming after them on Twitter. They're trying to get that taken down. Dudes, it's not defamation if it's true. They're not paying people. People are saying they lost their homes over Vinavia. So I do understand that you think that that's a liability, and it is a liability for the network. I don't know. Teresa's really expensive. Yeah, it could happen. I just don't see. I see a reboot or the show going away before they keep Melissa and not Teresa. And right now, if you have a gun to my head and ask me who I choose, I would say Melissa. Because all this shit that came out with Melissa's old nose and all this stuff about Teresa, I mean, she's just a toxic animal. Now, again, I don't know, but I still think it's her show. She's on Kelly and Ryan. She's on Dancing with the Stars. I don't think it matters. I think it's so, I mean, each season when someone doesn't lose their job and they come back, we move on and we forget it. So all this blogger stuff and all that, if Teresa came back and the show went on, we would all move on. Maybe not you guys, maybe not me, but the collective wide audience that listens would. So personally, I don't see a world in which Melissa stays and not Teresa. I can't really see the plan where Teresa stays. I still will go back to the fact that I see Jennifer Aydin, Margaret Josephs, Jackie Goldschneider, and Jennifer Fessler exiting this series if we keep people and we do it. And I see Teresa, Dolores, Rachel Fuda, and Danielle Cabral. Am I forgetting anyone? Moving forward. I see those as the four. Dolores, Teresa, Cabral, and Fuda. I don't think you can keep Fuda without Cabral. We need another newbie. I think those four move forward and we get new people. That is really, I'm going to stay. I'm going to go on record. I really think that's what's going to happen. But Andy has said we are going to take our time. And that is the thing. I think Margaret Joseph, say what you want about her. She's evil. She's this, she's that. Someone once said in these comments, she's a black empath. I'm like, oh my God, I totally understand that. She sees the weakness in you, and that's why she takes you in and cuddles you. I totally agree with that, which is why even though she thinks we were friends, there was always a distance between us because she surrounds herself by weak people. Nothing personal, Marge. A lot of people do that. She just always knew that even when I was coming up and, you know, building my career, that even though I was like, oh, big housewife, like my tongue was hanging out, you know, because that's how we started and built this. She always knew a little bit that like I wasn't that girl. Like, you know, I'm financially independent. I don't need that from her. I don't need a friend. She just knew. Yeah, I needed housewife connection. I did need things from her. And I didn't use her. We were friends, but she always could tell that I think, you know, I'm just not that bitch. That's going to be the little wallflower in the corner. And now I live life for myself and I don't really care about any of these people. I'm friends with Luann, was just at her house the other night. Oh, did we talk about Bethany? We'll get into that in a minute. But my point is, I'm really all over the place today. My point is, I that's how I see it going. Andy said we're going to take a long time. So I think Margaret's smart. She knows. Dolores, I think, is smart. I don't think Teresa understands what's really happening. Like, look, if you're not going to lose your job, and I really don't think Teresa is, and you make, say, $2 million a year or 2.5, and we just went through this with Luann and Ramona, and so and you make that, and you get that twice a year if we're shooting, and then we have a mini break, and then we're shooting again. There were years that New Jersey would start and then air and then start again, and you get the bulk of